We're standing here at the Rockland County Fire Training Center, and that really says it all. This is a place built on service, sacrifice, and people who show up when their neighbors need them most. I want to thank all of our first responders, our nonprofit leaders, community advocates, and volunteers who joined us today, especially those who quietly serve every single day without ever seeking recognition. For generations, volunteers have been the backbone of the Hudson Valley, of New York, and of America. They're the volunteer firefighters and EMTs who answer alarms at 2 in the morning. They're the folks stocking food pantries, mentoring kids after school, coaching Little League, organizing blood drives, and checking in on neighbors who need help. They don't do it for the headlines. They do it because service is part of who they are. And that's why today I'm proud to announce a bipartisan resolution designating 2026 as the National Year of the Volunteer. I'm introducing this effort alongside Democrats and Republicans because service isn't partisan, it's American. As our country approaches its 250th anniversary, this resolution honors the people who have always held our communities together and calls on the next generation to step up and serve. The Hudson Valley helped win America's independence 250 years ago through citizen soldiers, volunteer militias, and neighbors answering the call. 2.5 centuries later, that same spirit still defines this region. Whether it's volunteer fire and EMS departments facing staffing shortages, nonprofits stretched thin, or communities responding to crises, volunteers are still the difference. Where government can't fill every gap, volunteers do. The reality is this: volunteer organizations across the country are under real pressure. Call volumes are up, membership is down. And too often, the service people provide is taken for granted. Recognizing volunteers at the national level is an act of gratitude that says, your service matters, your sacrifice matters, and your country sees you and appreciates you. The National Year of the Volunteer isn't just about recognition. It's about a recommitment. It's about encouraging more Americans to get involved. It's about strengthening recruitment and retention. And it's about reminding ourselves that strong communities don't happen by accident. They happen because people choose to serve. As President Kennedy famously said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. To every volunteer here today, and to the millions across the country, thank you. Thank you for answering the call. Thank you for putting your neighbors first. And thank you for keeping the Hudson Valley and this country strong. I'm proud to stand with you, and I'm proud to introduce this resolution during America's 250th anniversary. And so we're going to hear from a few of our volunteers, reflective of the broad array of folks who make our community what it is. I'm going to start with Stephanie Dunn-Ashley, the CEO of American Red Cross Metro New York chapter. Stephanie, please come up.
Good morning. Thank you so much. What an incredible speech on the history and longevity of volunteerism in America. And for us celebrating our 250th anniversary, it's just so absolutely true. So thank you. Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to join you here today. For the 145 years that the American Red Cross has been here with the United States, we have powered ourselves on the support of volunteers. 90% of our workforce base is volunteers. Yeah, exactly. Those are the ones that answer the call in the middle of the night after a home fire. Those are the ones who help families rebuild after disasters, who collect and deliver life-saving blood, and they stand with our neighbors on their hardest days. In the Metro New York North chapter alone, which includes Rockland County and Westchester County, volunteers make it possible for us to serve thousands of people every year with compassion, skill, and unwavering dedication. That is why this year, the Year of the Volunteer legislation introduced by Congressman Lawler is so meaningful and powerful. It shines a national spotlight on the people who make humanitarian work possible, not only for recognition, but because they believe in the service that they are providing. This legislation honors their commitment. It elevates their essential role that the volunteers play in strengthening communities, and it helps all of those whom we serve. On behalf of the American Red Cross Metro New York North Chapter, and as a volunteer firefighter and EMT myself, I'm proud to support this effort. Recognizing volunteers is not just symbolic. It is a reminder that our nation depends on them, and that their service depends on celebrated and supported volunteers. Every volunteer, thank you. Thank you for carrying our mission forward, whether or not it's the American Red Crosses for 145 years or any other volunteer organization that stands beside me here. And to Congressman Lawler, thank you for championing the service of spirit that defines America, and the very best of America indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Now ask Tammy Wilson, the COO of Feeding Westchester, to come up and say a few words.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When we talk about service, we're really talking about people. People who notice when a neighbor is struggling. People who decide that someone else's hardship is worth their time, their effort, and their care. Food banks like Feeding Westchester and the Regional Food Bank sit at the intersection of hope and need. Every day we support our network partners who directly support families, seniors, and children right here in the Hudson Valley. They rely on us not just for food, but for dignity, a little humor, and care. We do this work while advocating for stronger systems and more resilient communities, and we do it side by side with volunteers. At Feeding Westchester this past year, we have over 6,000 volunteers that we are so proud of and happy for. Volunteers give us something incredibly valuable that we can't put a price on, their time. Time is the one thing none of us can make more of. Trust me, I know, because I'm trying every day. People choose to share it in service of others, and I am completely grateful and ecstatic about that. That choice of giving your time matters. It strengthens our communities, it lifts our neighbors, and it reminds us that compassion is an action, not just an idea. They create moments of respect, kindness, and connection that stay with people long after the day is over. As Maya Angelou used to say, people may forget what you say or do, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Our volunteers make people feel seen, supported, and cared for. We are grateful to Congressman Lawler for recognizing this year as the Year of the Volunteer and for shining a light on people who quietly power our community every single day. I have about 8 to 10 volunteers that come to Feeding Westchester every single day. There are sometimes more than I am. We could not do this work without them. So I thank you for this and this opportunity to shine a light on them.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. Now ask Tom Gabriel, the President and CEO of United Way of Westchester and Putnam, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Congressman. Congressman Lawler dropped John F. Kennedy. Tammy Wilson dropped Maya Angelou. I'm going to drop Ronald Reagan, who said, "We may not be able to help everyone, but everyone can help someone." It's that spirit of compassion for our neighbors and our community that makes our country so great. And it goes back to our founding, when neighbors pitched in to help each other raise homes and plant and harvest crops before the winter. Now more than ever, our nation and its many diverse peoples need to come together in service to support our nonprofit organizations, schools, civic groups, religious institutions, veteran organizations, and so many others to ensure that our communities and our neighbors thrive. Our United Way of Westchester and Putnam, like many other United Ways, has been mobilizing strategic partnerships and leveraging resources to create a more equitable community. whether we're responding to crisis like some of the other organizations here today, or we're helping the next generation through after-school and educational programs. There's no way that any one nonprofit organization, school, civic group, religious institution, or other could make a difference in so many lives. Nor can the government solely make a difference. It is up to us, as individuals, as families, as local businesses, to volunteer, pitch in, take pride in our country and our communities, and remember that we are all Americans and that we can all help someone. We've done it before. We've come together as one nation to lift each other up, united. We did it after 9/11. We did it during World War II, and we can and must do it again. So as we look to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this great country, the United Way of Westchester and Putnam applauds the Congressman and others in this bipartisan effort to introduce a resolution designating 2026 as the National Year of the Volunteer. Hopefully their spirit of collaboration will inspire people to volunteer, united, to make our communities a better place to live and work. Thank you. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you, Tom. Now I ask Chris Keir, the director of the Rockland County Fire Training Center, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
As we look back on our great nation, there's always been one word that has defined our communities, and that's volunteerism. Whether you volunteer for your local fire department, ambulance corps, United Way, People to People, Meals on Wheels, or a food pantry, there's one concept that's always been the same, and that's volunteerism. And as a first responder, dealing with many agencies on a wide spectrum, these agencies all work well together and have to work well together to get the job done, whether it's a major incident or a minor incident. As we stand here today, adorned on all these walls of our auditorium are banners of 26 volunteer fire departments and ladies auxiliaries that serve Rockland County, in addition to multiple fire associations. These volunteer fire departments do over 11,000 calls a year in Rockland County, all volunteer. So I want to thank Congressman Lawler for this introduction of his resolution for this 250th anniversary of our great nation, and I appreciate all the support of all the agencies that we work with day in, day out. Thank you.
Now I ask Jonathan Delgado, Chief of Nanuet EMS, to come up and say a few words.
Good morning. My name is Jonathan Delgado. I proudly serve as the Chief of the Nanuet Community Ambulance Corps. What a great thing for the Year of the Volunteer. In Rockland County, we are truly grateful for over the dozen EMS agencies we have in Rockland County, amongst our partners with fire, EMS, all the other auxiliaries that come together here. For those watching this, I ask you to think about volunteer. What does it mean? What do you want to do for your community? Pick up that phone, join your local food pantry, American Red Cross, your local fire department, whatever it may be. Give back to the community. We are one. We are one together. We help each other. And as U.S. citizens and as people of the United States of America, we need to make sure that we take care of each other. So I want to say thank you to the efforts of Congressman Lawler for putting this forward, and I hope that each and every one of you seeing this today will consider becoming a volunteer. And it's not just the adults and people of age. Volunteer starts young. Myself, starting in the Youth Corps of Nanuet Ambulance when I was 14 years old and working my way up today, these type of fundamentals of a volunteer organization shapes people, shapes their career, and you never know what one little volunteer aspect can do to change the world. So thank you very much.
Next up is a great friend and somebody who has inspired all of us here today, a two-time Hart recipient who has signed up over 14,000 people to be organ donors, giving back the precious gift that she was given. Please welcome Roxanne Watson.
I feel like like everybody in this county knows my story by now. But thank you, Congressman. First place I went in Washington, D.C. was to see this guy. This is Michael. I just tell the story. This is Michael. It's my first organ donor. He saved 5 of us. When I was in the hospital waiting, I was in the hospital 104 days waiting for the first heart. On the 60th day, I had what do you call it, like an Oprah aha moment. And I said, you know, this is ridiculous that I'm still sitting here waiting. And like my surgeon said, people pass away every day. And why are you still waiting? So I said, if I lived, if God let me live, I would do this work, making sure that people sign up to be organ donors, simple as that. And when we got out in August, the first week of August, got it? The first week of August, I started my crusade, as you say. About 6 months later, the people from the Oprah Winfrey Show got in touch with me and said, do you want to come on and tell your story? And I was like, of course I do. It's Oprah. Right? And that was the beginning of my national campaign to make sure that people were signed up. And as simple as it, we'll be here this week, right? For naturalization. We've done all the naturalizations. I'm in the mall every weekend, even Super Bowl Sunday. And any place we can be, blood drives, going to Clarkstown South next week, wherever we can go to tell the story, to make sure that people understand the importance of organ donation. I think when I look around and see all of these banners, I think every single one of these fire departments came to my house to get me at one point. I was in the hospital probably about 15 times. The last transplant I had was Memorial Day, actually. I haven't met my donor family on that yet, but ABC's working on that. So we'll get to meet them too. So I just want to say, I was inspired to be a volunteer by a lot of people, not just the transplant, American Heart Association, Women Heart, Live On New York. I volunteer for everything because we need all of that. And we just don't have, you know, the money and all the things that we need to make sure that we get the message out. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I'll be in the mall next weekend.
Thank you, Roxanne. Last but not least, I'm going to ask our County Executive, Ed Day, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Mike. First of all, most importantly, it's been said here more than once, I want to express my undying gratitude to our Congressman for doing something that's very special, something that most people don't even know is going on among them. I've been fortunate enough to be heading up a county government, 1,952 people. We had a lot of good things done. We have town and village governments also who work hard every day to make sure that services are delivered to the people of Rockland County and the other municipalities. The one thing that I can also say is that if it were not for the volunteers, if not for them, our efforts would fall flat in its face in no time flat. That is exactly what our volunteers bring to the table, life-saving, important things that they can do, and it makes us feel much, much better what we do. We actually have a group of retired people who now spend their time volunteering to take care of young little children. That's how deep the effort in volunteerism is, and I just really want to acknowledge all of our volunteers in Rockland County, because we have to salute you.
As we close, I want to thank one person in particular who really this idea spawned from Butch Babcock, someone who has been deeply embedded in the community, deeply involved with the S.W. Johnson Fire Department, heavily engaged for years on serving the community, the fish fries during Lent, the pasta dinners, really working to make sure that people in need have the support of our community. And Butch has been just a good friend and somebody who cares deeply, along with his wife Barbara. So I want to thank Butch for really coming up with this idea, and we're going to execute on it. So thank you, Butch, for your I think, as has been said by everybody today, when you look at our country, 250 years, America is the greatest force for good in the world. But that would not be without its people. From our volunteer military, to our volunteer first responders, to those who ensure that the homeless and the food insecure have the support that they need, to those that volunteer to provide and administer life-saving care, and those who volunteer to help save lives. That is what makes America the most incredible place on the face of the earth. Nowhere else in the world is it like this. One community, one country, one people. Yes, there are differences. Yes, there are politics. But what makes America that bright, shining light, that beacon of hope and freedom and opportunity, is the people and their heart. So today, I'm proud to announce this resolution and to recognize 2026, America's 250th anniversary, as the year of the volunteer. Thank you.